Been getting a lot of questions about the baleage and about feeding it and all. What we're looking at right here is rows of baleage. It's 100 and a few odd bales in each one of these rows. You know, there's a lot of videos out by different wrapper manufacturers of how to wrap it. But there's not a whole lot of videos out about do's and don'ts and feeding it. What you're looking at here is the end of a row. That's we're using an end cap there rather than a dry bale to seal the end. It's just basically a big garbage bag, if you will. Industrial heavy plastic bag. Goes over the first bale, it goes in a wrapper, and then you go to wrapping the plastic over it. You can see where the wrapper put its plastic on there, and this part here is the end cap. I like that better than dealing with the other bale, the dry bales on the end. That's okay. We've done it. Works well, but you got to handle those bales. You got to get them from somewhere. Just a lot more hassle. I'm looking at now the end of a row that we're feeding. I've started to peel the plastic back. We've gotten a lot of questions and comments about, you know, doesn't that freeze and how do you get it off and all. Well, you know, just kind of showing you. I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand and cut with another. Just a regular old pocket knife, my normal pocket knife here. You know, cut it right off of there. This is certainly frozen. It was 6 degrees last night. By the forecast, they tell me here it was actually a little bit colder than that. As I'm filming this, it's 24 degrees. But you see, this peels on off of here pretty good. I just cut it ready to seam between the two bales. Comes right on open, comes right off. Not too hard to deal with. Not that big of a deal, I don't think. You're looking at a net wrap bale. We like the net wrap on the silage and the baleage, whatever you want to call it, as well as we like it on the dry hay. So much so, the new baler, we bought it with net only. I don't care if I don't never bale another bale with twine. Net works well. What I like about the net on this baleage is that net lays any of those small stems right on down flat. See these little stems that stick up? When you bale that, they're kind of prickly. If you use twine, they want to set up and have a tendency to try to penetrate the plastic and put holes in it. So you're going to get seepage. You're going to get air leaks. It's not going to ferment well. You can see this bale fermented very well. You can see the moisture was inside of it. It's frozen. But pretty good bale. This is a bale of wheat and ryegrass. It was baled a little bit later than I'd like to bale it. We like to bale it in the boot stage. This was actually baled a little later. It certainly hadn't made seed, but it was raining day after day, dry up for a couple of days, ground soggy. We couldn't get it in. But it's still excellent feed. You can see there's a little bit of seepage in between the bales. That little bit of mold there doesn't amount to anything. Bothered me the first time I saw it. Talked to Virginia Tech, which is not too awful far from here. They assured me no problem, and it hasn't been. But that's not very deep. It isn't like that goes on in the bale at all. High quality feed, very good stuff. We like it. The net wrap was shook right off of there. Now I'm not going to take it off of this bale right now because we've got to move it to the feeder. I want it to stay intact. These bales are heavy. The weigh about 2,150 pounds, they tell me. A neighbor bales them with the same baler that we use. He bought his about a month before I bought mine. They're both brand new balers, identical. He weighed it and he said it was 2,150 pounds. That's a whole lot of weight for a 4x5 bale. I recommend the hay. This baleage stuff works. It's good feed. It's a whole lot easier than running a chopper and silage trucks and feed bunkers and all that stuff. Now, I don't mind telling you we've got that and we use it for corn silage and I like it very well. But, you know, if you're getting ready to buy a baler, if you'll buy a silage baler rather than a conventional baler, and then you can rent a wrapper, it works out good. It works out real good. We leave these things open when we're feeding them. In other words, when this bale comes off, we'll leave the next bale open. We don't seal it off at all. Certainly with the temperatures as cold as it is now, you wouldn't need to anyway, but even the dairymen that are feeding it in the middle of the summer, you know, 80, 90 degrees days, I don't see any, you know, there's no problem. If you feed it within a couple of days, you're in good shape. We're feeding these right now because it's so cold and the ground is frozen solid. We're actually feeding these bales without a feeder, and waste is pretty much nothing. When the ground gets soggy or you're going to put a bunch out for whatever reason, you know, we like to use feeders. We have Pequay and Stolfus pool feeders that we use. Work well. When the ground's frozen, I don't see a need for it. Very good feed. I recommend it. I will say it's not for small operation. Not an inline wrapper anyway, or not to buy it. You may want to rent the stuff. The baler and the wrapper together, basically was 60 grand. That's a whole lot for a small operation. It's really more than we needed to spend for our operation. But we did so simply because we do a bunch of custom work, and custom work is paid for the equipment. Anyway, just a little bit of stuff about the baleage. Hope it helps you out. I recommend it. Good stuff. Talk to you next time.